What is up everyone, my name's Al from GamesRail and today I'm coming from Tokyo. That's right, I'm live from Tokyo Station and today we're going to be checking out Densha to Go. And basically it is it's a train sim, don't get me wrong, everyone loved the look of the bus simulator and I thought, hey, let's check out some more simulation on the Sega Dreamcast live from Tokyo. Let's get on the train. Don't get me wrong, that was probably the worst intro I've ever done. In fact, to be fair, the worst green screen I've ever done. Because let's face it, I just looked like a ghost. So this is it. This time we are looking at Taito's really pretty decent game. You ready for the name of it? Densha to Go 2. That's right, for the Sega Dreamcast. It's a train sim. Now, obviously, I'm clearly into train sims and sort of any Japanese simulation experience right now. Because let's face it, I did also cover the bus simulator, which I had an absolute blast with. And this time, we're looking at trains. Just look at the intro.
Densha to Go!
Oh, I gotta be honest, these games have become a bit of a passion for me all of a sudden. Now, this game does have a couple different versions. It's basically the arcade mode. You got settings, rankings, etc. And this game is not easy unless you can read Japanese. Now, there is no English translation here yet. I mean, the game does have some English, but it's not a huge amount. So, as you can see right here, I was pretty much selecting anything to get the game going. I was like, well, okay, if I select this will work. And if not, then I guess it won't work. But, you know, let's face it, the game is basically speed controls, timing, etc. You know, because obviously we all know Japan are very well known for their on-time, you know, their subway system or their trams or their trains. And this is basically what it is. But obviously I couldn't tell what I was doing right now, apart from bars going up, bars going down, letting off the brake, etc., which I kind of understood in the end. So once you do know what you're doing, it's really pretty damn fun. And what you see right at the top of the screen, to the top left I should say, is the time you're aiming for. So there it's 15:31, and below that is the current time. Now, you will obviously screw up quite a lot. There's a traffic light system, there's a speed system, there's a lot of different factors here, as well as making sure to stop on time at the platform, etc. But you got to visually look at this and think, wow, it's actually a pretty decent looking game. Now, obviously, you can obviously get the whole kit here, as you can see right now, which will basically enable you to do it in pro mode, I'll call it. And basically, you become a bit of a nerd who doesn't leave your basement and you just play Train Simulator. But there's nothing wrong with that, because as you can see, I think this is actually pretty cool. Now, obviously, my hearsay or my sort of say on the game here doesn't necessarily have any sort of bearing on whether it's cool or not, but I think it's pretty decent. And, you know, these simulation games, they're even now still coming out for consoles like the Switch, so there's clearly still an appetite for these. Maybe not for a Western audience, but for an Eastern audience, definitely still there. And I can see why, because I think it's freaking awesome. Now, you will fail one hell of a lot. Unless you can read Japanese, then you might do quite well. But if you're like me, who can't actually read Japanese all that much or even speak it, then you're going to look at this and go, what the hell do I do? Now, as you can see, I pretty much failed time and time again, until eventually I think I pretty much speeded through one of the stops, and then I kept going, and the game kept going. So I don't know if I did it right, I don't know if I did it wrong, but you can see this is a pretty damn cool train sim. And that's really all it is at the end of the day. If you love trains, you might enjoy it. If you just really like simulation games, then you're probably going to enjoy it. What I would say is, you know, if you want to go out and do it properly, go and get the decent control setup. Obviously, it's not cheap. You're talking about 150 to 200 pounds to actually go and get one from Japan. But, you know, maybe when I go to Japan next year, maybe I'll pick one up. You can't deny this is a cool looking train sim, and, you know, some people might get bored looking at this, but I think it's pretty damn cool. It's a shame we never see these ever really come to the West. Like I said, I think some of them are now starting to show up on things like the Switch, etc. So maybe there is an appetite there, but, you know, really all it is looking at timings, the distance you'll sort of stop distances, because if you don't stop in time, it will pretty much point it out and tell you, and basically laugh at you. That's what it basically does. So, you know, don't get me wrong, you're going to fail a lot, but it is a fun experience and cool just to see how it really plays out on the Sega Dreamcast, and as you can see, runs like an absolute dream. Like, comment and subscribe. And I'll tell you what, I'll see you all soon. You can now support the channel on patreon.com/gamesrip, as well as remember to like, comment and subscribe.